Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Joe from What's Your Excuse. Today, I'm going to talk to you about being the difference between being broke and being poor. And the first thing I want to do is share a quick story, and then we can relate from there. My first job that I had was in 1998 at the age of 16, and I was making around about $6.75 an hour. Once I got out of high school, I kept that job until I got out of high school. Once I got out of high school, I got another job that made around $10 an hour, but it was just during school time. Each time I got a different job, I ended up adding some type of bill. And the bill could either been a cell phone, higher insurance, a different car, etc., etc. I got my first full-time job in 2002. I was making $13 and around 50 cents an hour. Because it was full-time, I had benefits. I didn't know I was making some pretty good money at the time. I was going to school full-time. I figured it was a great job, excellent benefits. So it's time for me to go out and get more things. The following year, I moved from an apartment with 3 or 4 roommates, only paying $350 a month, to an apartment with just one other person paying $600 a month. So basically, now I just added $300 more dollars worth of expenses, $250 of a new expense. Then I traded my car in, which I didn't pay. I wasn't paying anything at the time. If the car was paid off, I didn't pay it. I'm sorry, I didn't trade it in. I went and got another car. I think I was paying in 2002 absolutely nothing for a paid off car, just insurance that was around $50 a month, and I got a payment on the car that was around $400 a month. In 2004, I ended up trading that car in, and I ended up getting another payment, which was higher. It went from $350 or so to around $500 a month. And I think my pay went from $13, and around 2 years after that, it probably went to around $15 with the pay. Fast forwarding to 2007, which is the job I'm currently at, over those last few years, what I continued to do and didn't realize it was each time I got a pay increase, I ended up going out and getting a bigger expense, which is one of the main reasons why people call jobs, what it stands for is just over broke. I couldn't realize why every time I got a pay increase, I was still broke. And it took me a couple of years to realize that. And it's simply this: what I was doing was something that was discovered a long time ago, and it's called Parkinson's law. And what it is it's pretty much saying that your expenses will rise to meet your income. And that's exactly what I did from the time I got my first full-time job till currently. And the story, I just kept telling my friends, like, man, I keep getting these pay raises, and I'm making $18 an hour now. I was only making 13 then, and why am I broker than I was years ago? I can just go back in high school and I was only making $300 or $400 a month, and I remember having money. But my parents was helping me out. When I got my first full-time job, I didn't have many bills for that first year. I kind of kept everything the same. So Christmas ended up being good for me and a lot of other my family members. But over the years, I ended up getting into a lot more debt, and Christmas was kind of a not a struggle, but it ended up being a lesson learned. Now that I look at it years later, so the message here that I'm trying to give out today for adults is it's a reality check. What you don't want to do, if you always telling yourself that you're broke, you need to take a look at your expenses. If you're working and you live in paycheck to paycheck, which majority of us are doing nowadays, especially with inflation and higher taxes, the majority of the middle class are living check to check. You need to reevaluate yourself, and you really need to get it together, because now after this whole debt thing that was passed last week, it's going to get a lot worse over this next few years. And in my personal opinion, the middle class will be wiped out. You're either going to be poor or you're going to be rich. And the only person who can do something about it is you. So, as a reality check to adults, get yourself together, take a look at what you've done over in the past, and try to change it, so that you can get out of debt. The last thing you want to do is depend on someone, and then when it comes down to the time to where you really need them the most, they're not going to be there. And that's what most jobs are doing nowadays. People are working 20 plus years, 10, 15 years, and in these times of need, they need their job. And what happens when you need something? 9 times out of 10, they won't be there when you really need them. It's just like a true friend or a family member or something where you thought they let you down or something like that. A job is the same. When the money's getting tight, they're going to let you go. Trust me. And I'm not the only one who's been, or who's realized that or been in a situation like that. So what you really need to start doing if you get a pay raise or if you get a higher paying job is you might want to save and invest. 10%, 15%, 5%. Anything is better than nothing. Start with 1%. I'm not an expert at, a financial expert, but what I can tell you is before you start investing in any business and anything, you should investigate. Investigate before you invest. And that way, another way to look at it too is you should inspect before you expect. Because if you hand over your money to these financial institutions and you expect a certain percentage and you don't get it, well, whose fault is it? Don't be quick to blame that institution, because they're going to take your money and they're going to do what's right for their company, not necessarily what's right for you. They're going to make their money and you're going to get what's left over. So just go ahead and the internet is a lot of free information that you can get on the internet to the related topic that I'm talking about today. When it comes to investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, there's a bunch of free help out there. So that kind of sums up the whole thing of being broke. Now, being poor it's simple. That's why I don't even need to go into details with that. Poor is you don't have anything. I mean, you don't even know when your next meal is going to come. You don't know if you got a roof over your head. You don't even know if you're going to even make it to the next day. That's my definition of poor. And when some people say they are poor, they say, "Oh, we were struggling, we're living check to check." That's being broke, in my opinion. Being poor is the people that you see on the street corners with the signs saying, retired veteran, I'm broke and ugly, those things like that. I've never been poor like that, but I think I've been broke all the way up until till now, and I'll laugh at that because I'm doing something about it. And I'm not ashamed of talking about this because this is the whole reason for the site. It's reality check for adults and it's reality education for the youth. So if you can agree or if you can disagree with what I'm saying, please share your comments below. You can join the YouTube subscription and please let us know what you think. Until we speak again, we'll talk to you next time. This is Joe signing off, whatsyourexcuse.com. Have a good day.